Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Jasmine Brand. We're here to talk about her new show, Brutally Honest with Jasmine Brand, which is on Fox Soul. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I love your little sleek black background.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a little something I put together.
I love it. I'm with it.
I like yours because you got all these nice textures and art.
There's
and
a lot
everything.
going on. Yeah.
I love it though. But as I was telling your publicist, I was just so excited when I saw that I could interview you, because I've actually been following your brand for many years, and I've just been really interested in your trajectory. And I think that just being complimentary, I think that your approach is far nicer and just more so kind of a little bit more straightforward than a lot of people. So I've just appreciated that. So I'm always on your blog. I really am.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's true. And, you know, when you made this transition from, let's say, from entertainment writing and reporting, well, you're still doing both, but from that to terrestrial television, first of all, is it scary? And second of all, why now?
Okay. So first of all, is it scary? It's not scary. It's just more work.
Yeah,
It's a lot more work. And also, I think maybe it's scary in the sense of, so like with the site, I'm not as, okay, so I think there's a misconception that because it's called the Jasmine Brand, when I first started, it was just me, right? So then it became a thing. And so now I have a co-owner, my business partner, Meyer Fado. So he co-owns the site with me. We have a small staff of writers, correspondents, blah, 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 right? So there's that thing. And then there's the show. And so I'm not really, before the show, I wasn't regularly in front of the camera. So I think that may be the scarier part, but it's kind of like people talk shit before. So, you know, like have like negative things to say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse this early, but people would say things about my appearance before, but more so now that, you know, the more you're on camera, people have things to say.
Definitely
and so, but it's not that I've kind of heard everything before. So that's probably the only part that is kind of like, okay. But it's just like, it's really just more work.
It's more, I did not think you were going to say that. I actually thought maybe because you have a sort of a production team behind you that you could sit in front and just kind of do your thing. Yeah. I thought it would be easier because of that.
No, I think, well, okay, first of all, with the show with Fox Soul, they licensed the show from us. So we do the show from start to finish. So so it's me and my business partner, Meyer Fado. He's the executive producer, and we have a team and we put the show together. So I think if maybe in a traditional sense where you know, we could have done it a different way where we just talent and do the interview, you know, that, but I'm super like, I want to make sure I ask the right questions. I don't want to depend on anyone else. And we have a team of people that help put the show together, but I'm not a hands-off kind of person in terms, especially something so new.
Right.
And you know, I have one of my close friends is Angela Yee. She works so hard. Like, you know, she's so
part of like everything. Yeah.
So just being around her and for years, just seeing how she moves in certain situations. And she's not the smartest, not the smart. She doesn't work the smartest. I feel like she works super hard. And so I kind of, my group of girlfriends are pretty driven and like work hard. So it kind of is like, it's just kind of part of it or whatever. So it's just, you know, it's kind of what this is like now.
So I wonder this because and I'll use you and Angela as an example. So basically like you built out your set, you're saying, and then you kind of put things together and you licensed out your show. Do you think because you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you kind of put a lot more on yourself than like most people would even necessarily think to do? Because it would have been just as easy for someone with your brand to have just went to a network and let's say auditioned to be part of some sort of ensemble cast or something like that. So maybe you're working so hard because that's just the way you think.
Well, I don't know. I just kind of, maybe that may be the way I think. But I don't feel like that I'm an entrepreneur like at heart because I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. My dad is an entrepreneur. Had no interest in it. I liked getting paid on the 15th and the 30th. I liked not paying for my own insurance. Like I like, you know, but you know, having a bit, and even like when I first started the site, when people would ask for rates and stuff, I would just like add up my bills, and then like that's what I'm sure. You know, I didn't know because I didn't do this to be something, whatever. So, but my business partner Meyer is very much an entrepreneur. So being around him. And my friends are entrepreneurs, and it kind of rubs off on you. And so you think like, I have absolutely tested for things, you know, like for ensemble shows and didn't work out, or it did, but but also I am like a I want to own my own things kind of person.
Yes.
Like so and that's not always the best option. And sometimes I'm sure there'll be other deals and situations where I may go another route, but for this particular situation, I felt like it was we felt like it was the best kind of situation.
No, and I think that it's also worth mentioning that when I watched the show, I did watch the DeRay Davis episode and I watched the Tamika Mallory episode. I think that there's something about your demeanor and how you ask questions that it disarms people, because you find out, especially when you're talking about, again, like entertainment, blogging, and lifestyle type of editorial type of stuff, people they tend to not know what they're going to get, or they'll walk into a situation with like high anxiety. But you don't give them that. So what do you think it is about you that you've been able to maintain these types of relationships? Even being able to say like, oh, one of my homegirls is Angela Yee. I mean, that's really hard in entertainment because you guys kind of fall, I mean, not doing exactly the same thing, but it's a similar lane. And sometimes people kind of feel like that could cause friction.
I don't make a habit of having friends that
but
I will say two of my closest girlfriends work in this business. But I am super guarded, and it has not always served me well. So it's taken me longer to have those kind of friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
But in terms of like my demeanor and asking questions and interview style, I just try to be myself. Sure. And so I just try to talk to people like they're regular people, and I try to ask. Listen, I this has nothing to do with anything, but when my love life is a mess, but I would say to my girlfriends, like, when you want to ask a man, if you want a man to tell you the truth, you got to make him feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And so this isn't the best comparison, but I feel like you have to, when you're talking to people, you want people to feel comfortable. And you want people to feel like they're not going to be attacked and you're not going to judge them. And I honestly am like that in terms of like my friendships and like women friends and male friends. I try to be open, you know what I mean? Because I got my own stuff going on, and I want people to give me grace and
right. No, I get you.
So yeah, so it's not anything strategic. It's just how I am. And I think in terms of like how people interview people, they should be themselves, and usually they'll serve you well.
I think so. And I mean, particularly respect with when you're talking to DeRay, and he just sort of mentioned about the idea of therapy. And we were saying like Black people, a lot of times we don't go to therapy, but he was talking about really just sort of just speaking to his circumstances, or like therapy being in his art. And I think a lot of times, like I approach my relationships and how I speak to people in the same kind of way. So I want the conversation to be in a way more so therapeutic. So I'm saying that because DeRay was able to tell you things that you don't see him say in other interviews. You weren't squeezing it out of him or trying to get like some hot scoop. Same thing with Tamika. And it's just like, because again, the conversation flowed and you just allowed it to be very organic and let them just speak about themselves. And they were able to tell you about, circumstances in their lives. It just felt like a right moment to say, hey, right now, I feel like I don't have to be vulnerable or scared to tell her this thing right now. Whereas I'm quite certain those same moments would not have been generated on other outlets. I just don't think so.
No, you're probably right. And I'll say that I'm super blessed, and I'm thankful that, people feel comfortable with me. I will also say that I am in therapy. And
that's good. No, that's great to say.
I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy for a while. Shout out to my Black therapist, Miss Sonia.
Hey, Miss Sonia.
So I am trying to work on myself and trying to be open to other people's experiences, and so that some of that might come out in that too. I don't know. I always felt like I was a decent listener, though.
No, that's good. I mean, and they always talk about active listening too, because the conversation can go a place, and you have your notes and you have a sort of a place or a formula of what you think it's going to go. But once you start talking to someone and then it goes somewhere else, then that's when you're being an active listener, and that's what makes a great interview, I think. So I love it when things kind of just go another direction than I expected. So I'm glad to gain some insight from you. You're the vet around here.
Well, but the tough thing about that is when I'm listening, I can't think of what my next question is. So I'm all like, oh really? Like, oh my gosh.
Like
I'm in it, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's an interview. What am I supposed to ask next? So it's like so I guess when you become better at it, you can actively listen and then have that other question back here.
That's in the, well, I think also like if you're losing the point, if you think you're losing the point, a lot of times if you repeat whatever the answer was, it brings you right back. It reels you back into the situation. So I've been there where I was like, oh shoot, oh yeah. But by repeating, and I don't know, but I've always been like that because you said something about a 9 to 5. I was curious if you wanted to talk about like because D-Ray was able to tell us that he was working as a 911 operator and still doing comedy. What is the most regular job that you've ever had that you would love to talk about?
I had lots of regular jobs.
You did. Have you ever worked retail?
I worked retail. I worked at Express.
You did?
Yeah, I worked at Express. Mm-hmm. I worked at Uno's. I was a server at Uno's. I was a hostess at Applebee's. I worked at a
I love Applebee's. That's my happy hour. That's where they got the half price advertisers. Like literally, like that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yes. I worked at a call center. I worked in collections. First of all, I was so good at collections because I did not care. I used to get like, I would call people like, hey, you owe this, right? They used to have people like have me train people. It was wild. Yeah, like I was just like,
this how you get the money.
Yeah, but because I didn't care, I felt like it was like, I'm like, okay, you don't have, okay, have a good night. I was really good at that.
Yeah.
I did like some like telemarketing stuff. I didn't do fast food.
I didn't know. I got fired from fast food. I was working at Hardee's as a kid and they fired me and told me I wasn't fast food material. I was like, that's just like, is that a compliment? I don't know what this means. Yeah, I didn't know where to go with that. Yeah. And I worked at Auntie Anne's. That was great too.
Oh, I feel like I would like that.
Flipping them pretzels, you're talking to people and not too much space in there. So you just, it ain't too much going on. Just,
And it's not, the orders I feel like aren't super complicated either.
No, nobody's getting 15 pretzels. No, it's just a couple
not.
things. It's just a little mall walk and you're out. And a couple of conversations, But the call center, I share that with you too. And it's interesting because when I talk to people about the kind of job that they have, usually when they're successful in this regard, and especially with like broadcasting, it's always like sales jobs, retail, customer facing. So it doesn't surprise me that you're where you're at.
But I did get fired from I got fired from the call because I would go and sleep. Like I would sleep. Like I would sleep during my breaks and stuff. That was the inbound call center that I got fired from. And then
so you were sleeping on calls even?
No, I would just
go
to the break room and go to sleep.
Oh, okay. It's like, okay, you guys, she's back there. Okay.
Yeah, I was in high school. No excuse, but whatever. And then I was a bartender.
Okay, I did that too. Mm-hmm.
Bartended. And then I think that those are
the coolest job I think I had probably was working at Sephora.
Oh yeah, I never
get free makeup. It's still retail.
It's free?
Well, yeah, because they have all these samples that'll come in. So you still get your discount.
What's the discount?
Dumpster. I think at the time, I don't know what it is now. I don't want to lie to you, but I think it's 30%, which is still not bad.
That's not bad. What do you have on your face now?
Oh, this is oh gosh, what is her name?
Well, do you have? I'm just like you have foundation or you have?
Oh no, yeah. So it's a little bit of concealer and just a little bit of foundation. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm doing that that stencil stamp. This is the
for the brow.
Yes, because I ain't got
my brows are my face is too big. I can't do it.
No, I just don't. No. Let me tell you something. I don't have eyebrows. Like I have such thin hair. So there's nothing going on. These stencils, and don't say face. I mean, like they literally have stencils for everybody. It's like a whole pack. Yeah.
Did you get it from you got it from Sephora?
I got this one. I got from Amazon. You just put it on your face. And you go boop, 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 and it's just like, oh, I have eyebrows now.
No, I tried, and I feel like my. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I think this is called Laura Mercier. And then the powder, just to kind of not so I'm not greasy, it's this Neutrogena girl from the drugstore.
I got this new, I'm a Sephora girl, but I got this new under eye cream I'm using, like Carrie something. Carrie?
I don't think I know that one. It's been a while.
And I put it right here. And then.
Oh, even here. Okay. Yeah.
Put it right here.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because they said wherever, like here, right here.
Yes.
Those are my newest. But I love Sephora. But I get my makeup a lot done now. But
oh, how does that feel? Like that, like okay, I got makeup.
Well, you know what? It's cool until you got to take all of it off.
Oh yeah, because it's a little heavier for TV, I'm sure. Yeah, that's true.
But I just did this today. But I don't for this kind of stuff at home. I made a rule like Jasmine. We're not gonna have nobody come in. We're just gonna do it ourselves, and we're just gonna pray it's okay. But like for on camera and when I gotta go do stuff, I'll do it. But yeah, it's just I don't want to do it every day.
No,
I don't want my makeup done every day.
no. And, oh, I think this is called Laura Mercier. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like heavy, but it's supposed to be a full face. I don't do it like that. I use it as a concealer.
Your face looks good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
Look at this random ass conversation.
Okay. I have my generic water.
And look, let me tell you, as long as it's not Dasani, well, no, I don't want to call anybody out, but this is 80 hours cold, girl. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, you could just go, but listen, I know you got a lot of stuff to do. I just want to say that, like, I am super like tuned into your career. I've loved everything you do. I hope that you're at least where you want to be right now. And then whatever you aspire to do, that you are looking to get there as well. And you will, obviously. You've got these great relationships. And I think that you're one of few people that has been able to maintain that without things getting nasty. And I appreciate that about your brand.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So sorry to go all off topic on you.
I know we just went. I don't know. Like, I hope I didn't get you in trouble or nothing like that. But
I'm fine.
Anyway,
You're okay.
that'll be fine. My name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Jasmine Brand. She is the host of Brutally Honest with Jasmine Brand on Fox Soul. You guys can check it out. It's Mondays, correct?
Monday nights.
Yeah, Monday nights, guys. It's a great show. Like, and it's just like, it's not a negative talk show, and she's able to sit people down and where you get to really get to know things about them that you would not hear on other platforms in the same way. And I'm being very sincere, and she knows that I am, because it's true.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. I'm gonna be all over your blog again, because that's my job. It's my duty to be on there commenting on everything.
Okay.
All right. Bye, girl.
I'll see you over there. Bye.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.